This is where I was toying with the idea of identity. Many of the women were telling me that they would like not to show their faces, even though there have been like years since they were trafficked. All of these women are back into their home environment, so they are trying really hard to integrate. Of course, some will never integrate, but some are helped, and they are ashamed, even though they shouldn't be ashamed. But the stigma is basically a stigma that a society places on them. And this is a woman that actually asked me, why do you have to do this? Why do you dig up my life? And she was explaining that this is a wig she was wearing when she was forced into prostitution by a female pimp. And she said she kept the wig. And I guessed she kept the wig as a sign to not to forget or not to forbid, even not to forbid herself. Sometimes the girls have a stigma, they place a stigma on themselves. And again, the identity question. This is in a household where the mother of 6 children, all living in the same place, she was to be trafficked and she was saved in the last moment from traffickers. This is when I did the second trip to try and look at the women who are missing or who have been missing for years. Now, when I was looking at the women who survived sex trafficking, I was trying to defy stereotypes. I could have looked into them at work, but I just wanted to see how they managed to keep on living with this interior trauma. And this girl wanted to show me where she left, where she accepted the job, where she left from. This is her house, and she brought me here especially. She wanted to be photographed there. So I guess I was trying to give as much information as possible. I was looking into creating a narrative, but how do you do that when it's a quiet story? All you can do is go and meet these people, talk to them, find out a lot of their own story. Most of them, their stories are full of appalling details, but most of these details are so common from each story to another. So I was trying to look at everything that could give a glimpse of their interior space and interior time. And she was telling me that her female pimp was treating her extremely bad, way worse than the man pimp. This is again the place where she left from, and she said that she had another 3 sisters and brothers. Her father, which no longer existed, built these chairs for her and her brothers and sisters. And as I said, she wanted to show me how she lived and why she accepted a job abroad. And the fact that I'm photographing poverty, and poverty is not a reason for people to take advantage of some other people's dreams and aspiration. They want to escape a place and they are thrown into their worst dream ever. So as I said, Elena was trafficked into Russia when she was 16 years old. This is again at the International Organization for Migration, where I didn't want to photograph really. I wanted to photograph women back in their homes. But I had the opportunity to see like a checkup, which was done. Many of them come back with loads of diseases, all sorts of sexually transmitted diseases. This woman, this girl called Dalia, the same girl, she carried a dead fetus in her body for 2 months since the pimp tried to administer some pills and to provoke abortion, and it didn't work. So you can imagine how fragile, how badly broken they are when they come back. And very, very few of them have the the support of their families. Many, they choose to return to the country where they were trafficked, because prostitution became a way of life, because became the only way of life they think they can have. There's again one of the girls that I showed before, Maria. And yes, people say that I create haunting images, but I found them there. They're just in front of me. There you go. This is a newborn baby. There was a girl. She had a little body malformation, but it's very, very common that women who have been trafficked to give birth to children with body malformation. But in a way, this was a happy case. The woman was trafficked together with her friend, actually, to Turkey. Her husband accepted her to go and work abroad. It didn't cross their heads what she would have to go through. And in the end, she told him everything that happened. They were both talking to me. His forehead tilted towards the floor. She was telling what happened to her and her friend. And in the end, he said, I love my wife. I know what happened to her, and nobody can condemn her. But this was the only case I've met like that, and it was quite special. Many of the spaces where I found the women are kind of derelict, and I was feeling that I was photographing solitude. This is the woman who was trafficked into Turkey, and she has the support of her husband. This is another woman who was trafficked to Albania in her way to Italy. She had twins by her trafficker. One of the methods of the traffickers or of the pimps to keep the women obedient is to tell them that they love them. And I mean, there are other methods. I mean, the women are put on drugs, on alcohol. They're beaten, really badly treated. And this woman, she didn't understand that one of her twins had tuberculosis and that he might die. So she was still waiting for them to come back from the hospital, living alone, like having absolutely nobody in the whole world with her. And this is the reason many women say that they want to leave. You know, they want to have a better life. They're chasing a dream. They do have access to TVs. They are coming from very poor places, but they have the imagery that would make them dream for a better life. And they are arguing that their children is the main reason that they are trying to find a better way of living. Actually, this was the only case that the mother said, I can't wait to give birth to this third child that I'm carrying, and I am going to go back into prostitution because I've got an $800 debt and I might go to prison for that.